Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon po.
Let's start the discussion. Before we start our lesson, let's have an icebreaker activity first. Okay lang ba sa inyo, class? Let's have a little game. Now, ang winner ng game na to exempted sa sa uh, sa activity. Kasi after ng discussion natin, meron tayong second graded activity nyo. So yung mananalo sa game na to is exempted. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Then I'll explain the mechanics. Okay, so here is the game, class. So very simple. It's just the name of the game is called taboo or not allowed or forbidden or prohibited. You are not allowed to mention those words. Well, yeah. Then you just need to papaunahan to sa chat, class. Yung makakuha ng score is ilalagay natin sa chat box. Ilalagay nyo sa chat yung answer. Okay? So for example, I'll explain the mechanics in a form of an example. Just a second. Just a second. What the heck? I have no notebook. Okay, so ito. So ito lang yung makikita nyong screen. Okay? Then, ito yung POV ko. Kayo, ito. Then, I will just simply define this word here. This word vacation without mentioning these words. Okay, how would you describe vacation without using these taboo words here? Ano sa tingin nyo, class? Describe vacation without using these words. Come on, you can unmute or you can chat.
Gala po.
English only.
Rest day, sir.
Rest, okay, unwind. So yes. Fun, yes, kasi wala dito. So yeah. Yeah, okay. So ito yung POV ko, class. Then ito yung sa inyo. So hulaan nyo yung makikita ko. Okay, so just a second. Just... Dali lang. Ang daming ang daming kailangang gawin. Alright, ito na. Just a second. Okay, so here's the first one. So again, ito lang yung makikita nyo. So ang unang-unang word ay tagal mag-open. Loading ads. Wait lang, boss, ah. Sabi ko. Ayun. Okay, so someone who is the counterpart, ano pa rin to, sample pa rin to. Okay, before we proceed to the actual thing. The counterpart of Zeus, okay, in the underworld, the most common word for him, who is that? Yeah, but he is not Hades. That is the more common word for that. It's synonymous to a bad person. We call that person a when he is a bad person. Yeah. So who is that? The one that is when someone did things that it's the other of course it has a horn, color red, live in the underworld. Yeah. Wala makahula, class. So ito yung pinapahula ko sa inyo. Okay, the other term for that. The other, yon. So devil. Devil is the answer. So yun lang, class, ganon. So dry run pa lang yun. So here are the taboo words that I'm not allowed to mention. And the answer is of course devil. Okay, so ito na yung first score. The antagonist in the Sonic live action movie is also the protagonist in the Truman Show, is a Hollywood star. He is already in his 50. He is the protagonist in the movie The Mask. Yun. So Jim Carrey. Yeah. So Tianzon got it. First score. Okay, next. We conduct drill to prepare for this. This is also near. We are very prone to this. Yun. So the first one who got it is Kalamba. Okay, so this is the answer. 1 point. Next is it is inside your face. You can put piercing on it. You can inside your face. Okay. Yon, wrong spelling, wrong tayo. So, Papa. Okay, next is you do this when you see someone, especially if you are close to that person. Usually boys are doing this. There's also a show that's same with the same title. Yon. So the first one who got it is Garcia. Garcia. So that's the answer. Next is This is a color white thing that you cannot touch. This is you can see this when there is a drinking session with your, okay, sagum. Sagum. Smoke. Next is, okay, this is what we called if a movie is it's very successful. When there's a lot of queue in it. There's a very long queue. What do we call that thing? For example, yun, Pereira. Pereira, got it? Walang namumuro sa inyo class, ah. Lahat kayo tig 1 point, ah. Okay, next is, this is a sickness when you are unable to rest when the sun goes down. Okay. Yon, Pereira again. Insomnia. Ginagawa ko. Pereira. Pereira. 2 points. Next is, okay, this is usually in the quote, do not panic, it's blank. Okay, yung unang-unang nakakuha is si Bautista. Okay, Bautista. 1 point. Next is, this is as an asset or a feature in the upper part of your body. That is, you can see this with the character Super Mario. This is his most striking feature. Especially Italian people have this. Okay, it looks like a caterpillar. Magsaysay. It's the first one who got it. Yeah, mustache. Okay. We are halfway through the game. Okay, last 10 more. Next is, okay, it's a brand of a lighter. And it creates a sound that is yun. Si Jaime. So, ay, no. Anong nangyari? Yeah, na-skip ko yun. So, yan yung sagot. So, Jaime. 1 point. Next is 23. Complete. Okay. Yeah, Bautista. Next is, this is the favorite thing of Mr. Bean. Oh, galing ah. Bilis ah. So yeah, teddy bear. So sino nakauna nun? Yung buo ah. Si Kalamba. Okay, 2 points for you, Kalamba. Next is, okay, this is what the call center agent used to call when they need to go to work. They have blank for today. The other term for that, Pereira. You know, the people who are working when they have a If you are a security guard, that's what you will say. You have a duty. But if you are is a call center agent, I have a yon. So, si Denise. Denise. Chef. Chef is the answer. So, Denise yun yung una nakauna dun Next is, okay, Lisa Makua.
Sir, nakamute ka po.
Sorry. So, magsaysay, 2 points. She's the first one who got it. So, yeah, Balay, Lisa Makua. Next is Careless Blank. Okay, the first one who got it is si Maria Shinela Caburnay. Okay. Yeah, Caburnay. Okay, malapit na tayo. Tapos, kung sino makakahula. Pinakamaraming score after this yung panalo, of course. Next is, okay, the opposite of broadsheet. Is the opposite of broadsheet. Example of this is tik-tik, sagad. Okay. Jaime. Next is the opposite of prequel. Okay. Sequel. Yung nakuha is si Jaime again. Okay, mukhang panalo si Jaime. Hindi. 3 points pa, maraming 2 points. So maraming pwedeng makasteal. Okay, next. Ito yung sagot. Next is, okay, girls scream when they see this. What is this? Ghost mirror. Mirror. Okay, cockroach. Sagub. Okay, so there. Sumisigaw kapag nakita ka ng mirror. Alexis. Okay. Next is, okay, this is a type of metal that you receive when you land the third place. But the other term for that. Yeah, the other term for that, the thing that you are answering. The layman's term. Well, silver is the second place. You can sell this in junk shop for 180 pesos per kilo. Pero dati pa yan. Ngayon, mas mahal na. Okay. So, copper. So, Jaime again. Okay, 4 points ka na, Jaime. Okay, last two tayo, last two. Kapag may nakahabol pa, malamang si Jaime na ang panalo. Okay, next is, so ito yung sagot. 100 degrees Celsius. This is what happened when you put H2O without the gerund, the simplest version for that. Okay, so Jaime again, 5 points. Okay, last na. Last turn na. So that's the answer. Ay, wala na pala. Yun na yung pala yung dulo. So yeah, 5 points is si Jaime. So very good, Jaime. You are the winner for this. So you are exempted for the later activity. Sino nga class yung yung nanalo last time, yung in-exempted ko? Para di ko na tingnan yung notes ko. Yeah, si Erica. So Erica and Jaime. Erica is accepted. Okay, going back, let's proceed now to our discussion. View. Wait, mawala. Ito na. View. Reading view. Okay, so here it is. Proper tech integration in the workplace and GUI principles. Okay, so proper tech integration in the workplace. So we will contextualize this in your future workplace. So of course you are class, 2 birds in 1 stone yung course niyo, di ba? So first year, second year, office professional, third year, fourth year, secondary education, major in TLE. So we will contextualize that in your target career. And we'll talk about GUI principles. So tech in education, use of ICT. So the very definition of using technology in education, or in teaching learning process is, it is the prime mover of technology in education, the use of ICT. Okay, next is ICT in education means teaching and learning with ICT. So it says here that the teachers will not be replaced by technology, but the teachers who don't use technology will be replaced by teachers who do. So of course, if you are a teacher, you will not be replaced by technology. But if you refuse to use technology, you will be replaced by a teacher who's using technology. Okay? So kung ayaw mo gumamit ng technology, hindi ka naman tatanggalin. Pero papalitan ka ng hindi siya tatanggalin. Hindi siya pwedeng palitan ng technology. Yung technology alone. Okay? So hindi naman pwede yun. Hindi naman pwedeng technology alone na yung mag-deliver ng teaching learning process. Okay? Teacher pa din. Hindi ka pwede solely yung technology lang yung pwedeng ipalit sa'yo. Then, papalitan ka ng teacher na gumagamit ng technology. That's why you really cannot refuse using technology in education. So, technology in education increase in student exposure to ICT through curriculum integration, and it has a significant positive impact on student achievement in terms of knowledge, comprehension, practical skills, presentation skills in areas such as math, science, and social studies. So they found out in a study in Japan that when you integrate ICT or technology inside a classroom, the retention, okay, the knowledge, the comprehension of the students increase. Okay, so yun. So that's the tech in education. So advantages of ICT tools in education. So first, improve retentive memory of students. So yun nga, the retention will increase. Next is explain the complex instruction and ensure students' comprehension. So even though those complex lesson, we can be able to explain that simply if you are using ICT or technology, if you integrate technology inside the classroom. Teachers can create interactive classes and make the lesson more enjoyable, which could improve students' attendance and concentration. Of course, kapag enjoyable yung approach using technology, of course, the tendency is student attendance will improve, and of course their concentration, you will capture their attention, and in return the concentration will also increase. So disadvantage, of course, may disadvantage din yung integrating or using ICT in education. Setting up the devices can be very troublesome. Okay, so just like nung Saturday night, sinet up ko yung laptop ko din, suddenly hindi gumana yung Wi-Fi. So nagkalungkat pa ako ng Ethernet Ethernet cord. Then, yun, gumamit ako ng wired connection kasi hindi ko alam kung bakit gumana ng Wi-Fi. Pero ngayon, gumana naman. Okay na ulit yung Wi-Fi. So yeah, it can be very troublesome. And sometimes it's too expensive. Okay, so kailangan mo ng internet connection, stable internet connection, kailangan mo ng device, na latest na device para makakonect sa internet. So it's expensive. Next is hard for teachers to use with a lack of experience using ICT tools. So if your teachers are boomer, okay, there might be a tendency that they will refuse to use technology. You know, there's one faculty in I know that after the pandemic, instead of embracing the online teaching, pinili niya na mag early retirement kasi na siya, boomer generation din naman siya. Pero yun nga, hindi niya kaya mag-deliver ng lesson, or hindi naman sa hindi na kaya, parang ni-refuse niya na to embrace the online teaching for the next 2 years, more than 2 years. So yun, nag-early retirement na lang siya instead of instead of conducting online classes. Next, yun nga. That's why it's hard for teachers to use the lack of experience using ICT tools. May hirap talaga pag wala kang experience. So here's the big but. Are we using technology just for the sake of using technology, or are we really integrating technology in the classroom? So technology versus integration. So there are 2 ways, class, to use technology. Using just ICT tools, technology, para lang masabi na gumagamit ka ng technology. Okay, I'm showing projector, I'm providing links. So yun, gumagamit ka ng technology, but is it the proper way of using technology? Is it the goal that we want, or there is a better approach to it? So there are 2 scenarios here. So you can take a screenshot here and pick your guess. So later I will ask you. So basahin niyo muna natin to. So let's say you are a school principal and nagkaroon ng memo sa DepEd. So let's say high school teacher ka, may memo, na kailangan i-integrate yung ICT, gumamit ng technology inside the classroom. So sinabi mo na, okay, let's use iPad. Since meron tayong iPad, so ibig sabihin gumagamit na tayong technology inside the classroom. So binigay mo nag-provide ka ng isang tablet sa isang classroom. So maybe yung teacher yung may hawak ng tablet na yun. So of course. Then every student is told to get familiar with the device. So pinag-aaralan yung iPad, yung tablet, ano yung mga parts noon, paano siya i-reboot or i-turn on, then ano yung mga apps na nandun. Then nagbigay ka ng mga educational related posts. So and yung teacher na-explain niya yung mga application na pwedeng install dun sa iPad, and that's it. So, technology integration, gumamit na kayo ng technology. So, nag-comply na kayo sa memo ng DepEd na kailangan gumamit ng technology sa the classroom. And yung technology na ginamit nyo is yung tablet. Now, scenario number 2. Let's say, school principal ka ulit. May memo ulit yung DepEd na kailangan mo gumamit ng technology inside the classroom. So, puminili mo yung tablet. And then, you provide the iPad. Instead of giving iPad to the teachers, you provide the iPad to the students. Okay, and your teachers and other educators work with the students to uncover what particular apps that they can use. Okay, it's a student-centric approach, not the teacher-centric approach yung ginamit mo. Dito student-centric kasi yung mga students ang gumagamit ng tablet. And then, you don't make it all about the iPad. So hindi nyo familiar sa mga students sa tablet already. It's not all about the iPad. Wala kayong discussion na yung parts of the iPad, parts of the tablet, ano yung company nagmula doon, sino yung nag-manufacture, history nun. Hindi kayo nag-focus doon. Okay? Then, ginamit nyo lang yung tablet para to deliver lesson, okay, for the students to use. So ano sa tingin nyo, class, yung better approach dito? Situation 1 or situation 2? You pick your guess, class. Okay? I'll give you 10 seconds to chat in what would be the best approach you think. 1 or 2? How about the other guys? How about the others? What's your pick? What's the best approach? The situation 1 or the situation 2? Okay, so thank you for your participation. So of course, the better approach there is the number 2. Okay? Kasi ginamit niyo yung iPad para sa to the actual learning. Okay? Hindi lang para makakomply sa memo. You really use it to integrate to the education. Okay? So yun yung problem natin, class. The integration using technology versus integration of technology. So ito, sa using technology, it says here that the use of technology is random, arbitrary, and often an afterthought. And versus technology integration, which is technology use, is planned and purposeful. So in using technology, it can become random or arbitrary or often an afterthought. So pwedeng gumamit ng technology, pwede kayong gumamit ng multimedia board or pwedeng hindi. Kung pwedeng gumamit ng projector, LCD projector, pwede rin hindi. So yun yung yung technology, using technology. But in technology integration, those technology, the LCD projector, the multimedia board, the tablet, the computer, the laptop, it's really part, okay, of the teaching and learning process. Next is technology is rare or sporadically used in the classroom. So pasulpot-sulpot lang, or technology is routine part of the classroom environment. So technology is really an integrative part of the, let's say pag nagpa-survey, di ba? Let's say meron kayong handheld meron kayong handheld tool inside the classroom. Then pag nagpa-survey yung teacher, just like mamimili ka, is it situation 1 or situation 2, then ipipindutin nyo lang yung handheld nyo sa mga option nyo. Then lalabas na kagad yung graph kung 80% situation 2 or 20% situation 1. So yung ganun. That's technology integration. Compared to using technology, pwedeng gumamit ng handheld, pwedeng hindi. Pasulpot-sulpot lang. Next is technology is used purely for the sake of using technology. Compare to technology is used to support curricular goals and learning objectives. Okay, so this is just like what I mentioned. This is in the situation 1, they just use that to comply to the memo in integrating technology. I mean using technology inside the classroom. But in situation number 2, that is really part of the curriculum. Okay, so you already have a part of curriculum. Probably you have a course in college, which is or in high school, or your TLE. Your TLE subjects is, let's say, multimedia production or basic programming. So yun talaga, it's part of the curriculum. Okay, so hindi lang siya to comply to the memo, but it's really integrated in the curriculum. Next is technology is used to instruct students on the content, compared to technology used to engage students with the content. So instruct lang. Ginagamit mo lang yung technology to provide instruction to the students, compare to you actually use that particular technology with the not just for providing instruction, but to the content creation. You are creating content out of that technology. For example, sa tablet or sa PowerPoint presentation, okay, you are just using the LCD projector to provide instruction, to deliver, to view images, compared to in technology integration that you are actually creating or navigating what is provided or ano yung makikita natin sa projector. Okay? So kayo yung gumagawa nun. Kasi the highest level of learning is creating. Kasi wala namang tataas na yun. You create your own. Next is focus ayan, technology is mostly being used by the instructor compared to technologies being used by the student. So yun nga, kapag low level, which is the technology use, yung instructor yung may hawak ng technology or let's say yung device, papakita niya sa mga students. So ito yung tablet natin. So here is you show it to them. So this is how you do it. Compare sa technology integration, the students are the one who's holding the technology and they are the one who is providing and creating content on that particular device. So ganun yun. Using technology versus technology integration. Next is focus simply on using technologies. Yeah. Just para lang masabi na gumagamit ng technology compared to focus on using technology to create and develop new thinking process. So if you use that particular technology to come up with something that the students created, then that is technology integration. Next is technology is used to complete. More instructional time is spent learning how to use the technology. So compared to dapat yung oras na ginugol nyo para pag-aralan yung let's say multimedia board, pag-aralan yung LCD projector, pag-aralan yung synchronous session, synchronous way of teaching, you are actually doing it. Okay? So instead of yung teacher dun sa situation A natin, explain, okay, this is the tablet itself, this is the screen, this is the specs, this is the CPU, this is the speed. Okay, dapat yung oras na yun na ginamit sa pag-explain kung ano yung technology na yun, dapat ginamit na ng mga students sa pag-hands-on, okay, sa paggamit ng technology. Next is technology is used to complete lower order thinking skills. Okay, compared to technologies used to encourage higher order thinking skills. The higher order thinking skills is of course creating, when you are creating. And compared to the lower order thinking skills, which is just to provide, observing, and not actually creating. Okay. So next is technology is used solely by individuals working alone compared to the technology is used to facilitate collaboration in and out of the classroom. So you are not just using that device, the technology, inside the classroom, but you can use it outside the classroom. So that's another sign of technology integration. Next, technology is used to facilitate activities that are feasible or easier without technology, compared to technology is used to facilitate activities that would otherwise be difficult or impossible. Pansinin nyo kasi yung third to the last bullet natin. Nakalagay dito sa using technology is it's more easier without technology. Nangyayari to class sa maybe nung senior high school kayo kapag may reporting, di ba? So mag-aargala kayo ng LCD projector. So that's an example of using technology. Pero yung mga nakalagay lang sa projector is mga bullet points, mga slides, mga words, okay? Na kung iisipin mo, kahit naman walang projector, madi-deliver mo yung mga dinidiscuss mo sa mga nakalagay dun sa slides mo sa PowerPoint. Diba may mga ganong instances na pwede naman kahit walang LCD projector, nagpagod lang tayo, nagpumasos pa tayo. Kasi yung mga nasa slides mo is lang naman, mga words lang naman, mga bullet points. So kahit pentel pen lang, pwede na natin ma-deliver yan. Compared to sa equivalent niya sa technology integration is, it would be, okay, it's impossible to deliver it if you don't have the technology. For example, yung nangyayari ngayon sa atin dito, this is an example of technology integration kasi synchronous session will be impossible without our desktop or laptop or the internet connection. Okay, the software, the Zoom. So hindi yun magiging posible pag wala yung mga technologies na yun. Kaya this synchronous session that we have right now is an example of technology integration. Okay, this will be impossible without using those combination of hardware and software. Next, second to the last bullet na tayo, technology is used to deliver information. Compare to technology is used to construct and build a knowledge. Okay, so yung technology na yon, ginagamit mo lang siya pag-deliver ng information. Okay, compared to, of course, the ICT tools, the hardware and the software, the combination of those is actually used to construct or to build an outcome or the end result, which is, let's say, pwede natin sabihin na na simple software, okay? Or makagawa kayo ng video production. So you actually use technology to create an output on it. Okay, last bullet, technology is peripheral to the learning activity compared to technology is essential to the learning activity. Okay, so peripheral in use of technology is just a peripheral. Okay, it's just there. Okay, so um, ano lang siya, parang what do you call this? The accessory. Okay, compare to technology is really essential, which is we cannot proceed, okay, without that particular thing. So yun. Kung babalik tayo sa example natin sa scenario 1 and scenario 2, makakapagtutuloy naman yung yung teaching learning process ng mga estudyante. Okay, kapag kahit wala yung iPad na tinuturo ng teacher nila. Okay, pinapakita lang sila, okay, technology integration and compared to situation number 2 na hindi makakapag-create. So let's say may video production or may software creation project yung mga estudyante doon sa situation number 2. So hindi nila magagawa yun kung wala yung technology. Okay? So sa situation 1, accessory lang yung tablet. Sa situation number 2 natin example, the tablet is actually the tool that is essential for you to create those output. Okay? So clear ba class before we proceed to the next slide? Can you give me a thumbs up kung nag-gets nyo yung kahit at least 50% no in-explain ko? Okay, so that's just the difference between using technology compared to technology integration. Okay, now since we are familiar with using technology and technology integration, let's talk about the different user interface. Okay, provides an interface or medium for humans to interact with the software or the system. It can be a software, can be an operating system, it can be a software interface that we can interact with. So ano yung mga dapat present? Okay, doon sa interface na ini-interact natin. Okay, because this is very important when we start exploring different software. So yung software ba na yun or yung application ba na yun is meron siyang principle of consistency, meron siyang principle of clarity, meron siyang principle of context, meron siyang navigation, search, personalization, learnability, and flexibility. So yun yung next agenda natin, yung 8 principle of user interface na dapat present sa mga software, application, operating system na ginagamit natin, na ginagamit nyo. So lahat yan ma-observe nyo. So, kasi lahat naman kayo may gumagamit ng software or application or operating system. But before I explain the first principle, which is the consistency, I'll play a video first related to this. Sabihin nyo lang kasi kapag pag hindi kayo nagsalita, pag tahimik lang kayo, sabihin walang issue sa audio and video. So mag-unmute kayo kung hindi nyo naririnig yung audio or kung putol-putol. Here it is. So you have seen different types of user interface, okay, since it started way back in the 80s up until now. So the thing that we need to observe there is, did this 8 principles of user interface was followed, or is it present to those interface that you have seen from different OS in with for Microsoft, and of course the second most famous desktop OS is of course the Mac, okay, Mac and the Windows. So what is the principles of consistency? So the first principle is the consistency. Very simple. It just means that the interface design is in harmony with the same applies to all screen in software program. The same words or commands perform the same function throughout the user interface. Okay, this is not just, this is applicable to all the application that you are using, class. So for example, when we say harmony, it can be in a form of a aesthetics, or it can be in a form of function. Okay, so when you have seen the let's say you open a particular application, let's say Facebook. Okay, so when you click the, let's say in the front page of Facebook, it is blue, of course. That's the theme of Facebook from the moment you log in, and the interface, the aesthetic theme is color blue. But once you log in, let's say the entire text or the entire interface is replaced by the color red. Okay, so therefore, aesthetically speaking, there is a inconsistency with the aesthetics, okay, in that particular application. So itong 8 interface principle na to, class, yung user interface principle na to, applicable to sa lahat ng mga application na ginagamit natin. It can be YouTube, Lazada, Shopee, Facebook, or it can be with the game that you are playing. Pwedeng Candy Crush, pwedeng Mobile Legends, pwedeng mga Twitter, Photogrid, mga video editing software, pwedeng Lightroom Mobile, okay, pwedeng Pokemon Go. So lahat yon is dapat align sa 8 user interface principles natin. Yung first principle nga natin dito is, of course, yung consistency. For example, dito sa nakalagay sa baba, there is a lesson 1 and a summary. So, of course, when you click the particular summary or the link in the summary, you'll be able to see the summary of the lesson 2. Just like the summary, when you click the summary in the lesson 1, which is the summary of the lesson 1 also. Okay, so walang consistency kapag kinlik nyo yung summary, then nasa lesson 2 na kayo, then yung summary pa rin ng lesson 1 yung pinapakita niya. But that's just another example of consistency. So that's the principle of consistency. Now, the second principle is, of course, the clarity. Means clearness of labels on all icons to make the system easy to understand. So very straightforward. It should be easy to understand. Users should use relevant icons or graphics to indicate the information. Icons, words, or commands should be clearly labeled so that users can understand them easily. So dito na yung papasok na yung pagiging user-friendly just by seeing the actual icon itself. So universal naman, class, di ba? Kapag nakikita kayo ng isang magnifying glass icon, what does the magnifying glass icon indicate?
Search, sir.
Okay, search. That's correct, search. And also, if you have seen, even though in your favorite application, yung mga application na ginagamit nyo, pag nakita mo yung question mark, is to know more about this. Okay? So, yun yung clarity. Kahit sa mga games na nilalaro nyo, di ba, class? Kapag may isang skill or isang armor or anything na hindi kayo familiar kung ano yung gamit nun, merong maliit na question mark doon sa katabi nun to explain more about it. So, yun yun. Principle of clarity in the user interface is when there is a clear, okay, the label is clear, the icons are relevant, so to indicate the particular information. Okay, so it is very easy for you kung saan kayo magpo-post compared to kung saan kayo magse-search, 'di ba? Sa Facebook pa lang, alam nyo kung saan yung search and sa magpo-post. So just imagine class kung nagkapalit 'yon, 'di ba? Yung sine-search nyo, mapo-post. Kumbaga, yung let's say nag-i-stalk kayo. Instead na i-search mo yung tao na 'yon, magugulat ka na punta sa ano mo, sa wall mo kasi nagkapalit yung search at saka yung post. So pag 'yun, walang ano 'yun, walang clarity. 'Di ba? Bistado kayo kaagad. Akala nyo ini-stalk nyo yung tao, yung pala na-post na doon sa wall nyo. Kasi nga, hindi yun nangyayari kasi there is a principle of clarity in the interface that you are using. Okay? It includes everything, class. It includes even your smart TV, Netflix, okay, mga streaming device na, di ba? It's very clear that where would you go or where would you see Samson Bell. Okay, so yeah. So that's the principle of clarity. Next is the context. So this is important. Context means every part of a lesson, okay, or any content should be relevant to a particular title. Ideas presented need to relate to the title. The interface should be structured. For example, if the lesson is about flowchart, all the lessons including the introduction, content, activity, evaluation, summary, and extension should be related to the flowchart. Not necessarily about yung in-explain kasi dito class, dito sa user interface, principle ng context is about LMS. So it includes LMS also class So hindi lang siya streaming application sa smart TV nyo, but also included, ito nga dapat naka-focus tayo sa learning management system, okay, LMS. So dapat sa LMS, yung context niya is about education, about learning. Okay? So hindi ka naman magpo-post magpo-post yung teacher niyo ng outing, okay, or yung Christmas party niyo doon sa learning management system na ginagamit niyo. So let's say Edmodo, magamit kayo doon ng Edmodo. Though yung interface niya parang social media, pero of course, to follow the principle of context, you don't put content that is out of context kung ano yung purpose ng software na yun. For example, sa yung mga e-commerce platform natin, di ba? E-commerce platform is of course used for business to sell. Of course, they integrate sometimes features on it that will entice people to use it. Okay, kahit na a little bit out of context dun sa mismong application na yon. Pero kasi kailangan yun to attract people. For example, sa yung mga social media, okay, they have a purpose, of course, to socialize, to interact with people. For example, TikTok, okay, that is also another form of social media or e-commerce platform, streaming application, Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO Go, HBO Max, Amazon Prime. So yun yung mga streaming application natin. So yung context doon, yung content is of course, hindi ka naman makakita ng mga related ng mga review, okay, sa mismong movie na yun kasi hindi pa integrated yung ganong feature sa mga streaming website. Or may mga mga dating application, no, such as Tinder, pinaka-famous. So yun yung mga application. For example, another real life example na hindi ina-allow ng isang application na out of context, out of purpose yung gamit ng application nila is yung, for example, sa Tinder, nag-post ka ng profile picture mo is sombrero lang, sombrero. Aalisin yun nung admin nun kasi ang impression nun is parang nagtitinda ka ng sombrero or nagtitinda ka ng, which is out of context doon sa purpose ng application na yon. which is of course, Tinder is a dating website. So it has its own context, it has its own content. So hindi ka pwedeng magtinda doon. The moment na ma-detect yun ng AI is na nag-post ka ng mga merchandise, is i-remove yun automatically. Okay, so to avoid being out of context to that particular application or software. Okay. So yun yung example ng context. It should be used to the sole purpose of using that particular imagine nyo naman class, kunyari, nag-ano kayo, Excel, okay, Word. Gumagawa kayo ng PowerPoint presentation. Then doon sa taas ng PowerPoint presentation, merong ano doon, merong My Day. Naka-integrate yung My Day ng Facebook doon sa Excel, sa PowerPoint, sa Word. Kapag kinlik nyo sa taas, okay, nag-Excel kayo, pero nandun sa taas yung My Day. Di ba? Yung Facebook, naka-integrate doon yung My Day. Sa Messenger, naka-integrate din yung My Day. Imagine nyo na lang kung merong My Day yung Excel, yung Word, yung PowerPoint. Di ba? That's an example of being out of context to that particular software. So of course, hindi yun pwedeng gawin kasi you are supposed to be productive using that software and you integrate social media there in the software. Naging meme yun dati kasi dati exclusive lang yung My Day sa Messenger. Then suddenly, in-integrate ng Facebook yung My Day sa mismong Facebook. So lahat ng software na naisip nila, nilagyan nila ng My Day. So nakuha ko sa isang meme na yung Excel, merong My Day, yung Word, merong My Day, which is against the principle of context. It's out of context already. Okay, so there. So we already explained the consistency, the clarity, and the context. Next is of course the principle of navigation. Okay, yung hindi kayo kakainin ng software, hindi kayo kakainin ng buhay ng software. The principle of navigation should be present. Okay, so it should, you know exactly where to go if you want to do something in the software. Okay, so ito minsan yung nababiolate ng mga software na ginagamit natin kasi we don't know how to navigate. Okay, so we don't know where to go and don't know how to add, especially sa mga video editing software or picture editing software. So yun, there is a learning curve and being able to know more about that's why it's very easy for us to, it's very crucial, okay, yung design, yung graphical GUI ng TikTok sa success niya. Okay, so it's very easy. Of course, i-slide nyo lang siya horizontally, vertically, then you'll be able to see those video. So parang first time yon na ginamit ng isang application or social media. The principle of navigation of TikTok is very effective, okay, for its user. Then yung heart icon dun sa gilid ng TikTok, ano yan, mga engineer yung nagplano niyan, mga software engineer, na dito natin exactly ilalagay yung heart button ng of course ng social media platform na yun para of course to maximize the engagement, to maximize the attention that we can get from those user. So principle of navigation. So kayo class, pag may mga favorite software kayo or may mga laro kayo na ginagamit, i-observe yung ano niya, yung principle of navigation. For example, nag-ML kayo, you want to change the skin. If you know exactly where to go to change that, then therefore the principle of navigation of that software is very effective. But if there is particular software that you don't know where to go, let's say in Shopee, naliligaw kayo kung saan nyo hanapin yung mga previous purchases nyo, then therefore the principle of navigation of that particular software or application is not very intuitive because you cannot find where to go to see your your completed purchases. But if you can easily find it, then it's effective na ano siya, check siya sa principle of navigation. Okay? So we are halfway there. Are you still with me, class? 4 more to go. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can still follow? All right. Okay, so 4 more user interface principle, then I'll provide the activity. Next is principle of search principle. So lahat ng software class na ginagamit, merong search function. Okay, so siguro mga 90% ng software na palagi nyo ginagamit na Web 2.0 yung function niya. Kasi pag Web 2.0, the user empowered. Pero yung mga first generation ng application na yung naka-base entirely sa isang tao. So that's the difference, class. The first generation of software application is dependent on the creator. But the second generation, yun na yun, mga second generation. Example of second generation software are, of course, majority ng ginagamit natin na Facebook, social media, streaming devices, YouTube, ang nag-empower sa platform na yun is yung user. Okay? So lahat yun, lahat ng mga application na yun is merong search function. Yung mga walang search function, yun yung first generation ng application na hindi na ano siya, creator dependent. Okay? Yung developer, yung main na nagma-manage ng software niyo. Kapag yung mga user yung nag-empower sa software, that's the second generation, okay? Or Web 2.0 type of software. So lahat yan merong search function. Yan, very simple, very straightforward. Maghanap kayo dyan ng ng application sa cellphone nyo na second generation or Web 2.0 yung niya, yung structure niya na walang search function. So it's very hard to find something like that. Yun lang. And there should be a search function in all the software that you are using. Next is the learnability. Means that the software, okay, the software, the application, the platform that you are using has something to empower the user. Okay, means the system provides support, information, and help files to make the system easy to understand. Learnability. Okay, so if you don't know that particular thing, there should be ang pinakamagandang learnability class na software na na-observe ko is yung YouTube. Okay, so let's say you want to be a YouTube creator. Yung learnability nila is hindi lang text-based, hindi lang text-based. Kasi karamihan ng mga software, if you don't know where to navigate, text-based, explain sa'yo, ito yung ganito yung mga dapat mong gawin. Pag kinlik mo yung know more about that software. But in YouTube, they actually have it's like a course, an academy. Okay, so Creator Academy, where you actually go step by step. You will be tutored by different successful YouTuber on to navigate how to maximize that particular platform. Okay, so that is the principle of learnability. So i-observe nyo rin, class, yung mga favorite application nyo or favorite game nyo. Meron ba kayong dyan, feature ng application na yan na to know more about that particular software that you can use? Okay, do they provide a link to a website where you can check the step-by-step process on how to use that particular tool? Okay, so sometimes may provide sila na the website or dedicated YouTube channel to just for you to easily use that particular platform. O may isa pa akong category na nakalimutan, mga e-banking application or digital currency applications such as GCash, okay, GCash or Paymaya, okay, PayPal. So lahat yan, present din yung mga user interface na yan. Next is flexibility. Means a user has authority to navigate through all the sections without any limitation. For example, the user can access any of the lesson section in pages of the program. So ito, LMS context pa rin to. One example ng flexibility class na na-observe ko is yung Zoom. You know, Zoom is very flexible. You can pin your video, you can spread the, the included in the meeting. You can stop share there. You can drag the window based on where you want to put it so that it will not interfere to the slides. So much better to kung dalawa yung yung screen mo. So yun, one example that I can give here, the principle of flexibility is yung Zoom. Okay, Zoom meeting kasi it's very flexible to us, the one that's delivering the lesson. You can drag and drop. So again, i-observe nyo ulit yung mga favorite application nyo. Pwede mo ba siyang ilagay? So pwedeng class, pwedeng not just in the software itself. Okay? Pwede rin nyo siyang sa operating system. In a sense, OS is also a software. Okay? Though the operating system such as Android, iOS, Mac, or Windows, or Harmony OS, yung mga OS na yun, they are an operating system. They host application. They host software. But the operating system itself is also a software. Therefore, applicable din sa kanila lahat ng sinasabi ko dito. Nai-guess nyo, class? So, hindi lang sa isang software dapat present yung principle of graphical user interface, but also in the software itself. So pwede nating bigay ding example, yung flexibility is the Windows OS itself, the Windows 10 or ngayon Windows 11. Na pag in-observe natin yung Windows 11, lahat ng 8 user interface na yan is of course present doon. Sa Windows 10 pa lang present na. So what more sa Windows 11? Dapat talaga yun, lahat present. Okay, so not just for application software, but also for the operating system or the OS, that it's the 8 user principle is present. Okay, lastly is the principle of personalization. Okay. Means the user can make their own personal individual. Okay, contextualized pa rin to sa LMS, Learning Management System. Learning users can choose their display option. Okay, so ito yung favorite na feature or GUI principle ng mga kabataan. Kasi just like what I mentioned, social media is also a software, an application. And in social media, what people do in social media is to, of course, personalize, customize their profile. So pa yung the moment yung pagdi-display pa nga lang ng mga My Day, pag na-navigate, that's personalization already. Okay, and yung mga sa operating system natin, yung Android, okay, you can drag and drop all the application that you install there based on, for ease. You can create folder, you can change your wallpaper. Just imagine kasi kung walang principle of personalization yung Android OS or yung Mac OS. Okay? So maybe alam niyo ba kasi yung iOS, yung first ever iPhone, siguro mababa yung yung principle of personalization niya kasi lahat ng iPhone, unang release na iPhone noong 2007, isa lang yung wallpaper niya. Yung Earth. Yun lang yung wallpaper ng lahat ng iPhone users nung first generation ng iPhone, nung unang labas. So yung personalization niya, yung principle of personalization niya is mababa. Kasi you cannot even change the wallpaper. So just imagine na lang kung ganun yung walang principle of personalization yung mga operating system na ginagamit natin ngayon. Of course, that's not very ideal. So, dapat lahat ng mga na-observe natin ng mga application na ginagamit or the software should have principle of personalization. So, yun lang class. There are 8 principle of NAVF user interface, okay, GUI na principles. These 8 principles should be present in all the software, in all the operating system, and all the devices that you are using, from your smart TV, from your smartphone, from your desktop, laptop, tablet. Okay, these 8 principles should be present: consistency, clarity, navigation, context, search, personalization, learnability, and flexibility. Okay, so do you have any question, Chris, before we proceed to the activity? Nan? So just give me a thumbs up if this is clear to you. So we can eat lunch, yung mga hindi pa nagla-lunch. Ako di pa ako nagla-lunch class. Kaya nagutom na ako. Wait lang, ipapakita ko lang. Okay. Ano lang naman siya class? Google Form lang siya. It's a very simple Google Form na basahin nyo lang yung instruction. Then you can be able to easily answer it. So, i-paste ko na ngayon sa chat box ang ating second graded activity. Sobrang dali lang nito, class. So there, that's the activity. So, click mo lang siya. So answer should not be less than 50 words in each question. So read the rubric carefully to get the highest possible score. So 5 tanong lang naman siya. 5 tanong, then you answer it in an essay format, and that's it. That's how you, and you have 2 weeks to do that. Okay, very easy. Deadline is May 16, 9 p.m. Okay, so ibibigay ko rin yung link kay Erica later so that we can review that. All right, so if there is nothing else, you don't have any more question, we can now open our webcam and do the magandang icon for this month. Kasi yung icon natin nung April is yung confetti. Ngayong May ay okay, hanapin nyo class yung yung emoji na natutulog. Ano na lang pala class? Sunglasses. Ganito. Yan. That will be the theme for this month or maybe for this session lang. So sunglasses. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and smile. Okay. Wait lang, baka hindi nakahabol. Mark, baka gusto mo mag-open ng webcam. And Shanella. Hindi pa tapos guys, pumaya na kayong malis. Yung kung alam makikita yung mga mukha nyo eh. Okay. Last na to last call. Open your webcam, then do the naka-shade na icon para synchronous tayo. Alright, smile. Okay, so that is all for today's session. Everyone, so goodbye.
Thank you po, sir.
Bye. Bye guys. Enjoy your lunch. If you haven't eaten yet.